Alright guys, so we're going to do Eagle rods and wiseco forged pistons. These are low compression turbo pistons. Like I've told you guys before, we're going to convert the NA block to a twin turbo. Same block. So I'm going to kind of show you guys the general idea of how to put these things together and kind of walk you through it a little bit. I'm not going to film all of it because getting one of the pins in is kind of a pain in the ass. Alright guys, so we're going to try to do this quickly. My battery's about to die on my camera. So this is a Honer. So I'm going to show you guys how to use this. I've got to charge my camera. It is like crazy about to die. Alright guys, so we're going to take, and don't hold me to this, but I'm pretty sure I got this at Harbor Freight. I love Harbor Freight. I plan on getting one of their really big 72-inch toolboxes, but I'm going to show you guys how to use this and hone out your. All right, so I'm going to show you guys how to hone these things out and get it ready for. And I'm kind of jumping a step. Normally, I may have to do this again because I may get a little bit of rust, and this will get off. Surface rust and things like that, but I'm going to show you guys how to hone your cylinder heads, and we're going to hone all of these. First thing you need is motor oil. You don't need a whole lot, just put a little on your fingers. And if you don't have a lot of deep scratches and stuff, this will take care of it. You have to be careful not to come up too high, because if those arms snap back, it'll actually break. They're not expensive, but just a pain in the butt. And I live kind of far from a Harbor Freight. You may have to do this a couple of times. You want to get the cylinder itself as smooth as you possibly can. I still have a little bit of a bevel on that one. We may have to come back to it. Now this piston right here is the one that had the rust in it, and it's pretty rough. We're going to see if we can we're going to see if we can spin this thing out and get the spots off of it. Let's see what we can do. I don't know how long I can do this because my battery is almost dead in my drill. Kind of the same spot. We got a little bit of a buildup right here on the edge, but also my battery's dying. I have a core drill, but it's in another building. Hi guys, for like really horrible light. It's a little after probably 4:30, so I have the shop light on and the sunlight's here, but you gotta have like an assistant, a little light. So this is where the oil gasket, or for the oil pump, this is where the gasket was. That stuff was on there. I had to use a razor blade and my corded drill to get a lot of that off. But I got everything off, so it's completely clean. That is your oil port. Now remember, this is the front of the engine. My son cleaned out that kind of the best he could. I got to clean up a little bit of rust. Got the cylinders kind of clean. Trying to get a light in there for you guys to see it. Got the honer in there and kind of got it. I had to go get it, bits for the stones for it. Got those at AutoZone. They're not the greatest. Like, I kind of wouldn't recommend them, but if you're in a pinch, they work. But I got all the carbon. I got 99, 98% of all the carbon built up. They're still kind of dirty. I got to get them cleaned out. That one's got a little bit on it, but that's going to be all right. You know, you're not going to have any piston rings in there, you know, that high up. I'm going to show you guys the pistons in this video. I'm going to show you guys the pistons and the rods that go with it. I kind of put them together. I'm going to throw that kind of in the video. Still got a little bit of rust here and there, but we're going to try to get that cleaned up. My power washer kind of died on me, so I don't have that ability, but I got a lot of it cleaned up, a lot of the rust off of it. Probably what we're going to do next week, and what I'm going to buy a video, or what I'm going to make a video on next week, is cleaning the heads, because they are sitting over there. Got to take the headers off and start getting those cleaned. Hopefully I can figure out the whole power washing thing and all that. So, all right, guys, so we're going to do Eagle rods and wiseco forged pistons. These are low compression turbo pistons. Like I've told you guys before, we're going to convert the NA block to a twin turbo. Same block. So I'm going to kind of show you guys the general idea of how to put these things together and kind of walk you through it a little bit. I'm not going to film all of it because getting one of the pins in is kind of a pain in the ass. All right, so we have an Eagle connecting rod, and then the forged piston. I'm trying a different camera angle to see if it helps you guys. I don't know what this thing is called, but it connects everything together, the piston and the connecting rod and all that. And then there's clips down here. That's going to be the fun part. The connecting rods do come with this lube, and we're going to put that on the inside of the connecting rod. Alright guys, so we've put our lubrication in there. So now we're going to connect the two, and we're going to use this to do it. Maybe. There it goes. I don't know if it only goes in one at a time, like only goes in one way. But this sometimes can be a little difficult with these. So I only push it in right there. It's really hard to tell, and there's a pretty good gap right there. You can't really tell, but the reason why is trying to put that pin in this side is a lot easier on this side. On the next side, or on the other side, it's really hard to do. I'm probably not going to film that, but I literally just take it and I stick it inside. You could probably do this without the piston in, or without the connecting rod or anything in. I may try that next time and show you guys. This is a little bit more difficult. So it's in, and I just take my finger. This was easier last time. I'm using a flathead screwdriver. Be careful. You don't want to damage the piston or anything. And you also, on the one that I did, it came flying out, and I almost lost it. Stupid. Of course, this one doesn't want to go in as easy. This is really small, so it's really hard to show you guys what I'm doing. I just heard a click. If it holds, then alright, so that pin is in. You really can't see it, but you got to make sure after you put it in that you actually inspect it. There's a little groove inside the piston where it actually sits inside of. If it's not completely in and this thing comes out, it's going to destroy the inside of your cylinder, possibly destroy the piston. And these things are pretty expensive. These are kind of like a racing piston. It does show right here. It's pointing to the direction, and then there's the little notch right there. It shows you which way is forward, valve slots, great pistons. I don't plan on racing it or dragging it or anything, but the power's there if I need it. Well, these can handle a lot more. So what I'm doing right now is I'm trying to push that thing in there enough to clear, because like I said, that there's a bezel in there. So you gotta let that pin set in that bezel. Now this is the part that's really hard because you can't sink it. You can't like push it down further because that rod is sitting right there. I did it once and I don't remember how I did it, but it took me a while to get it in. We're gonna try to put this in. It's got a little notch missing out of it right about here. It's what holds your rod in. We're gonna try, we're gonna try to put this in without the rod actually in it to see if you can even do it. Some people probably can. Actually, hold on. So we're gonna put it over here. So we're gonna put our finger in it. I mean, not really to see if you can do it, to see how much easier it is. Now earlier I tried to do this with the other side and the ring went flying. So now I'm like super cautious. I'm pushing it in. The stupid thing wants to come back out. Ouch. I'd say it kind of is a little easier, but it's not easier, if that makes sense. Dude, I was about to be like, crap, I didn't turn the camera on. I'd rather have the little black ones. Little black pins that spiral in. They're kind of a pain in the butt to put in, but they're easier than this. And they also have like cotter pins that do this. No, not cotter pins. I can't think what they're called. No, it's got little holes in it. You squeeze it and put it in. Makes these go by a lot faster. The older pistons do have those. I'm really hoping I don't stab myself.
Can't you go under the ring and like kind of wedge it in? Like...
No, because you don't have a lot of space. I'm not saying you can't do it, but what I am saying is it is a pain in the rumpus. I'm thinking about just giving up. Push it down a little further. There we go. Because you gotta get the bottom of it to catch inside this loop. And I think I've got it there. Because when you go to push it in, the bottom wants to come out. The little open areas want to come out. I heard that thing click.
Yeah.
Got to click. So you can do it without putting it in there, but when you slide that rod through there, it kind of gives it a break so it doesn't go anywhere. You can do it. I'm not going to do it again, but you can.